Namo Lai Kedan Ludan Nijinike Bumtada Mi Genamda Roa Kunjedaki Yezambar Amje Gedodagi Chuten To Daja Ki Tamba Nyame Tupe Wambi Mame Bal Over Abdul was Bachin Chancellor Daja Ki Balden Lama Rida Jimpurjatu Chabda Garden Sumba maybe Terchambun Choke Shabjetul Mamebala Go Rabdu Wasum Kubachimbu Chancellor Jabsul Chiwo Dado Simtia Tamjiji Ju Chinje Labar Zedu Sol Balden Zavelama Rimbo Che Dagi Jurbemen Dejula Garden Chimbugone Jiz Zonde Gusung Tuji Mudrupzaldu Sol One Namkatan Yambe Simjian Tamjan Namjan Nanameba Yang Taba Zube Sanjiju Comparu Bochala Gobricha Dei Chedo Talam Tambe Chisama Chebala Chin Yimbe Kunhonda Kujet Number Tabes and Sal. Today, as per request of the Karma Tiksum Shunkurling Dharma Center Monastery established by my Guru Vajradhara, His Holiness, the 16th Java Karmapa, Rangjung Rigpa Doje, as his seat, his Dharma seat in USA. They have requested me to deliver 2 sessions of Dharma presentation based on 2 truths. I am conducting this. This is the first session. 2 truth is a very important and crucial definition which is elaborated by Lord Buddha in both Sutra and Tantra. And when we understand the teaching of Buddha on 2 truths, then when we try to understand this through the mundane level, basic level in the world, in individual life and its context, then it also becomes very easy because relevance to explain and very beneficial once we understand. So I will elaborate on this subject since I was requested to deliver 2 1-hour speech or teaching on this, then there's enough time to go through basics. Okay. First, I will strictly explain based on the specific texts and teachings of Lord Buddha and commentaries by great masters of the past, for past 2,500 years. So in this, whenever true truth, or in Tibetan language, translated from Sanskrit, of course, in Tibetan language is Dembani. Dembani. Dembani is translated into English as a true truth. Then true truth in Tibetan language, again translated from Sanskrit, is Kunzopchi Denpa and Thandamchi Denpa, the relative truth and ultimate truth. Of course, in a simple translation, language experts and scholars can definitely have better words and much richer words. But these are used most of the time, the relative truth, ultimate truth. So some people think, even told me over the years, that true truth is very confusing, because there is only got to be one truth, but how can there be true truth? So this is evident, or evidence of not really knowing the definition and the basis of the true truth, relative truth, ultimate truth. Okay. Let's say, in teaching of Sutra, as well as Vinaya and Abhidharma and Tantra, the relative truth, or the Kunzapche Denpa, is most of the time referring to anything that is within the samsara, within the worldly context, up to the threshold. And then beyond that threshold is the ultimate truth, nirvana, or enlightenment. And so this true level, how to relate to them is as relative truth and ultimate truth. Now, relative truth is not inferior to ultimate truth, but relative truth comes first in practice. But relative truth is the way of the practice because of the ultimate truth as the base and the destination. So now, if I go one step further and use very simple language, then we can say relative truth is the relative truth of the ultimate truth. then at the same time, ultimate truth is the ultimate truth of the relative truth. So they are interconnected and absolutely inseparable in that context. Now, go back to the text and the teachings. Then, Kunjab Chiddanba, relative truth. Okay. When we learn the teaching of Buddha, I say teaching of Buddha because I'm a Buddhist monk teaching, and everything I have learned is from my gurus, my teachers, based on the teaching of Buddha. So that's why I'm saying it. But it should be relevant to every aspect of scientific, spiritual, and also very basic common sense. Now, put it this way. Teaching of Buddha. All that Lord Buddha taught after his enlightenment until his paranirvana, until he passed away into paranirvana, he taught for about 41 years. And these teachings that manifested from the Buddha, then these are in 3 levels of progressive, let's say, manifestation. First, Vinaya. Second, Sutra. Third, Tantra. Later, because every person cannot practice everything that is taught by Buddha most of the time, because of that, then the first, the Vinaya, the practitioner of the Vinaya, mainly Vinaya practitioners, are known as Theravada. And then the practitioners of Sutra, mainly the practicing the Sutra, they are known as Mahayana. And then practitioners of the Tantra, mainly practicing the Tantra aspect of Lord Buddha's teaching, are known as Vajrayana. The teaching itself, and also the practitioners of the teaching, both are called that way. Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. So, how does this progress takes place? Because Lord Buddha, Shakyamuni, after his enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, India, he taught first teaching, or as we say, first turning of the wheel of Dharma. That took place after 7 weeks. 7 weeks after his enlightenment. And Varanasi or Saranath, whichever way you call it, then he taught there, and that teaching is described as first wheel, and mainly Vinaya. Enormous amount of teaching, starting from Four Noble Truths, but then enormous teaching, detailed deliberation, amounts to many volumes. I'm talking about the words of the Buddha, not commentaries of the Lord Buddha's teaching by his disciples, no, just the word of the Buddha. Then, second wheel of Dharma, that is about shunyata, wisdom, primordial wisdom. All that aspect of teaching that is known as mainly sutra. Because word sutra is used many times in different levels of teaching of Buddha, but main focus, main content of the second wheel of Dharma is quite clearly described as a sutra, Prajna Paramita Sutra. Many levels of them, and amounts to many volumes. And then that is Mahayana practitioners' practice. Mahayana practitioners learn this and practice. But then you might ask, what about Mahayana practitioners? Do they practice Vinaya, the first wheel, or not? Of course, they practice. And then you might ask, does the Theravadas, do they practice the teachings of the Mahayana? Of course they practice. But then main focus will be more on Vinaya or more on Sutra. That will define the definition of Mahayana and Theravada. It doesn't mean there is any hierarchy between Theravada and Mahayana. It is a follower of Buddha and Buddha's teaching, the same. But the texts which they learn and they practice, which makes them Theravada and Mahayana. Then the Tantra, the last or the final wheel of Dharma, you can say, but there is never an absolute last wheel of Dharma. Never, because it is a Buddha. So Buddha manifests beyond time. Enlightenment of Buddha Shakyamuni is not impermanent. Of course, the body, the Prince Siddhartha, in that body, he attained enlightenment. Prince Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became Buddha Shakyamuni. So that vessel, the body, of course, then passed into paranirvana when he was 81 years old, according to our calculation, because our calculation of year is not exactly focusing on the birthday. It is focusing more on the birth year. So 81 year. Buddha Shakyamuni in the body of Prince Siddhartha, as the Prince Siddhartha, enlightened Prince Siddhartha, lived 81 year. But then in other way of counting the ages based on the birthday, then you can say 80 year. So in this context, then we look at the physical body passing into paranirvana. So there you will learn Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, three aspects of the Buddha's body. In fact, three aspects of everything and everyone, but let's not venture into that right now. So, three bodies of the Buddha. So, Nirmanakaya body of the Buddha as Prince Siddhartha, that passed into paranirvana. Okay. Now, having mentioned this, now I get back to the subject, the Tantra. Tantra that Lord Buddha taught. It is enormous subject. And it is subject and teaching of transformation. Everything manifests as something because of its cause and condition. But if once one transforms that cause and condition, then it is the awakening of the ever-present, uncontaminated, perfect, ultimate, primordial wisdom. And all aspect of manifestation, so to speak, the environment of that wisdom, then that is the definition of the teaching of Tantra. But in Tantra itself, then there is so many levels. But all of the different Tantras are summarized into two, and then further elaborated that two aspect of two levels of Tantra, let's say, into 6. So easier for us, for our purpose of having a very short time to explain, then 6 levels of Tantra. Kriya, Upa, Yoga, Maha, Anu, Ati. 6 levels of Tantra. Now, the practicing the content of those teachings are known as Vajrayana practitioners. Content of those teachings are described as Vajrayana. And now again you may ask, does Vajrayana practitioner, do they practice the Mahayana, the sutras? Then yes, of course, because Vajrayana practice is based on the compassion, love, kindness, and above all, the relative shunyata, ultimate shunyata. So based on that, so that way indeed practice the sutra. Then you might ask, what about Vinaya? Does Tantra practitioner, does the practitioner of Vajrayana, do they practice the practice of Theravada, the practice of Vinaya, to be more precise? Yes, of course, because the basis of everything is morality, morals and ethics, the base. So based on the morals and ethics, then the motivation, the Mahayana, and the wisdom of Mahayana, and then the transformation, sacred blessing, sacred transformation, transmission of the Tantra. So that's how the Vajrayana practitioners practice. And that's how the Theravadas practice, Mahayanas practice, and Vajrayanas practice. That is how it's supposed to be. Of course, follower of the Lord Buddha is in hundreds and hundreds of millions. And does everybody manage to practice exactly as Lord Buddha taught? I like to say yes, because we believe we should not say anything unauspicious. So, having said that, then in reality, of course, everybody, even they are doing their best, sometimes there will be a struggle. And due to individual karmas, and individual karma manifesting in surrounding of the individuals, and then further can be influenced by others' karmas, because that creates further surrounding of both positive surrounding as well as negative surrounding, as well as a neutral surrounding. So this way it will be absolutely inadequate and incorrect to say everybody manages everything in a uniformed manner. Of course not. Some people can do better in a certain aspect, but then not so well in other aspect. I'm talking about practice and conduct and all of that. And then some other person can do better in this context, but not so well in that context. But then some people can do better in this context, but not so well in this and that, and so on and so forth. Because every individual, every person, every practitioner, he or she is influenced by his or her personal karma. Sometimes karma is a little misleading, because karma is now overused. So the original meaning of the Sanskrit word karma is perhaps not what everybody means when they say karma. Karma means cause and condition. You thought about something, so you did something motivated by that thought, and then that action, whether it is mental, oral, a physical action, then when it is just began but not accomplished, is one thing. It did not become full-fledged, powerful karma. Then when it is half accomplished, whether it is positive or negative deed, then it becomes more, let's say, formidable. But then, when it is fully accomplished, then it becomes the full karma. Good karma, full. Bad karma, full. Neutral karma, full. Neutral, what I mean is neither good, neither bad. So, just like not doing anything, just like sleeping, I consider not doing anything is not very good karma, but from the positive and negative point of view, it is not positive, it is not negative. But why I personally think not doing anything is not good karma, because wasting time. Wasting your own time, wasting other people's time, wasting your potential, wasting the, let's say, you are not exercising your potential of doing something. So that way, it is not good, because you delay your development, and also you deprive others of your service. I'm only talking about the positive thing. But then, of course, in negative thing, then when you are in negative sort of surrounding, and negative kind of influence, then I think just to do nothing could be justified as a positive. Anyway, this way. So, individual practitioners of Theravada, of Mahayana, of Vajrayana, everyone, even they do their best, they will have shortcomings, individual shortcomings. That is why in Theravada, many individuals reach arhathood, but not everybody all the time. And same thing in Mahayana, many individuals reach bodhisattva realization, first level, second level, up to 10th level and beyond. But then not everybody attain that kind of realization of bhumis. Then in Vajrayana, many great individuals reach Mahasiddhahood and realization, like 84 Mahasiddha, like Guru Padmasambhava, like great Mahasiddhas like Marpa Lotsawa, then Milarepa, etc. Many, but not everybody reach that same level of realization. So that speaks in itself that why somebody attains the highest of the Theravada, but not everybody. And why somebody attains the highest of the Mahayana, but not everybody. And why somebody attains the highest of the Vajrayana, but not everybody. Within scope of how our mind can perceive the time frame. So this way, everybody doing their best, but not achieving exactly the same. And so this way, the Theravada aspect of relative truth and ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is achieved when attained arhathood. And the Mahayana aspect of relative truth and ultimate truth. Then when ultimate truth is attained through the practice of relative truth, gradually, then final ultimate truth of Mahayana realization is 10th level bodhisattva. Somebody like me, I will not be able to differentiate from first level bodhisattva to 10th level bodhisattva if I encounter them at the same time. If I have the good fortune, great fortune, and good karma and honor to encounter them together, I wouldn't know who is who. But in text, yes, I know what is the definition of first level bodhisattva and what is the definition of second and third onwards up to 10th level. Yes, I know. So that way. And then in Tantra, from the beginners, the basics, through all the different levels of practice of Kriya, Upa, Yoga, Maha, Anu, Ati. Each Tantra in itself is complete. So this way, then finally reaching the highest realization of Vajradhara or Adi Buddha or enlightenment of Buddhahood. So this way, each of the three yanas, then the relative aspect where it starts, and then gradually reach to the ultimate, true ultimate of that particular practice and the particular destination of that practice. So Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. So this is the simplest way I can describe about the true truth based on the entire teachings of the Buddha, which is summarized into Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, or Vinaya, Sutra. Then you can put Abhidhamma also in there, Sutra, and Tantra. And this is one very directly involving the context of the teaching of Buddha. And then its commentaries, of course, by all the great masters of the past. So the teaching of the Buddha, translated from Tibet, from Sanskrit and few other like a Pali language to Tibetan language, is 103 volume. That is the largest volume numbers according to the carving. Sometimes a little less, but largest is 103 volume. And then the commentary of that by the Indian great masters, not Tibetan masters, Indian great masters, that are translated from Sanskrit and Pali, etc., into Tibetan language, is again, it depends on the wood block carving, let's say, differences. Sometimes very fine carving, sometimes a little bit more broader carving. And then, generally speaking, 225 volumes of the commentaries. And all of this is translated from Sanskrit or Pali or few other languages, few volumes, few parts from some other languages, but mainly from Sanskrit and into Tibetan language. So that is altogether, let's say, 328 volume. So based on that context, then the true truth, relative truth and ultimate truth, very, 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 very simplified. And I deliver this, I make this deliberation as per response to your request. So I'm responding to your request. Okay. May Buddha and all the Bodhisattvas bless you all and all mother sentient beings, and including the environment in which they dwell. We make a dedication. Husanam de tamje zikpani, tonne nyebe danam pamjene, jaganaji balap chubai, sibian solen, Lodro show, jambal pawe, chitarachemba, undu zambo, tayang tejinde, da kunji jeso, da hlopjing gyawan da tamje, rabdu, ho, jina, dewa tsoso, ho, pende, nangkwa chaparasho, duna, dunghar daki, kur, kowa, dunghar ji jamso, tongbarasho, benza sato samaya, manabalaya, benza sato tinoba, tita, mebo, suto kayo mebo, supo chayo mebo, anarato mebo, sawa sidi metayet, sawa kama, suzame, zitam shiriya, guru hung, haha, ho, bagawen, sarvata, tangata, benzer ma me munza, benzer bawa ma, samaya, sato,